What's up, guys? This is Chris from DraftDashboard.com.
Here are my DFS picks for MLB Saturday, April 30th.
These picks apply for DraftKings and FanDuel. Before I get started, please drop a like on this video and hit that red subscribe button
And hit that bell icon.
so you don't miss our new videos.
In this video, I'm going to go over my top DFS picks for today's MLB slate. And if you stick around to the very end of this video, we'll use the Draft Dashboard tools to make a DFS lineup using the picks we just made. Okay guys, we have a 7-game slate tonight, so let's take a look at the pitcher position. I like Clayton Kershaw with a 2% pitching advantage over a low salary batting team, the Detroit Tigers. Clayton Kershaw is only giving up a .542 OPS versus righties. He's facing 5 righties here tonight, and on top of that, the Tigers have only hit 9 of his last 41 pitches. That's a .220 batting average. He's $10,500 FanDuel salary, $200 less on DraftKings, averaging 42 fantasy points per game on the season. He scored 27, 30, and 70 fantasy points in the last 3 games. He has an ERA of 2.65. His record is 3-0 on the season, pitching an average of 81 pitches per game. So I like Clayton Kershaw here versus the Detroit Tigers. Now I also like Garrett Cole pitching against a low salary batting team, the Kansas City Royals. Garrett Cole is only giving up a .627 OPS versus righties, facing 4 righties here tonight. But I like this pick because the Royals have only hit 10 of his last 63 pitches. That's a 159 batting average and a pretty decent sample size. Garrett Cole is $9,800 FanDuel salary, $200 more on DraftKings. He's averaged 26 fantasy points per game on the season, scored 57, 8, and 26 fantasy points in the last 3 games. So somewhat inconsistent the last 3 games, but he's got that big upside, that huge ceiling. He's an ERA of 4, record is 1-0, and pitching an average of 78 pitches per game. So I like Garrett Cole here versus the Kansas City Royals. And I guess the other guy I would consider here would be Eric Lauer, and he's got a 3% pitching advantage over the Chicago Cubs. Eric Lauer is only giving up a .618 OPS versus righties. He does pitch his best ball versus righty batters, facing 8 righties here tonight, and the Cubs have only hit 1 of his last 12 pitches. Small sample size, but a great start, and he's got fantastic splits. He's $9,200 FanDuel salary, $400 more on DraftKings, averaging 40 fantasy points per game on the season, scored 61, 40, and 19 fantasy points in the last 3 games, has an ERA of 2.20, record is 1-0 on the season, pitching an average of 91 pitches per game. And Vegas thinks this is going to be a low-scoring game, 7.5 runs scored in this game. That's their over-under. So I like Eric Lauer here versus the Chicago Cubs. So I'm definitely going to pay up for pitcher. I'm going to go with one of these studs. There's a lot of value at the batter positions, and I don't like these lower salary pitchers. They're just not in good spots. So I'm definitely going to pay up for pitcher here tonight. But let's take a look at the catcher first base position. A couple of studs for you at this position. I like Freddie Freeman with a small batting advantage here over Bo Brisk. Freddie Freeman is batting 8% better versus righty pitchers. batting a .913 OPS versus righties. Beau Brisk is giving up a .722 OPS versus lefties. Freddie Freeman is 3,800 FanDuel salary, 1,600 more on DraftKings, averaging 12 fantasy points per game on the season. He has a batting average of .311. So I like Freddie Freeman here versus Beau Brisk. Now I also like Matt Olson with a 20% batting advantage over a low salary pitcher, Dane Dunning. Matt Olson is batting 12% better versus righty pitchers, batting a .948 OPS versus righties. Dane Dunning, he is pitching 9% worse to lefties as he does righties, giving up a .835 OPS versus lefties. Matt Olson is 0 for 1 versus Dunning, but he has a .750 OPS, so that could have been a walk. And Matt Olson is 3,800 FanDuel salary, 1,300 more on DraftKings, averaging 10 fantasy points per game on the season, and he has a batting average of .308. So I like Matt Olson here versus Dane Dunning. Okay guys, it's time to announce the winner of our $25 weekly PayPal giveaway. And the winner is David Urquidez. David Urquidez, congratulations. Please reply to our comment to collect your prize.
Before I continue with the picks, I'm excited today because we added a new contest for everyone watching.
If you want to enter the drawing for $25 PayPal,
all you need to do is like this video, hit that subscribe button, and make a quick comment below to be entered into the drawing. We'll reply to a random comment and let you know that you won.
And we'll send you $25 PayPal.
So it's that easy, and we pick a new winner every Saturday and announce them in our video. So get your comment in now so I can add another entry for you.
Okay, let's take a look at the second base position. Here's somewhat of a value play here. I like Jeff McNeil with a 61% batting advantage over Kyle Gibson. Jeff McNeil is batting 35% better versus righty pitchers, batting a .843 OPS versus righties. Kyle Gibson is pitching his worst ball versus lefty batters, 26% worse than his other pitches, giving up a .784 OPS versus lefties. Jeff McNeil is 3 for 8, batting a .375 batting average and a 1.250 OPS versus Gibson. One of those 3 hits was a home run and another one was a double. So Jeff McNeil is 3,100 FanDuel salary, 1,000 more on DraftKings, averaging 10 fantasy points per game on the season with a batting average of .344. So I like Jeff McNeil here versus Kyle Gibson. Okay, let's take a look at the third base position. Here's a value play. I like Isaiah Keener-Falefa with a 44% batting advantage over a low salary pitcher, Carlos Hernandez. Isaiah Keener-Falefa batting 18% better versus righty pitchers, batting a .725 OPS versus righties. Carlos Hernandez pitching his worst ball versus righty batters, 26% worse than his other pitches, giving up a .964 OPS versus righties. Now, Isaiah Keener-Falefa is 0 for 1 versus Hernandez, but he's only 2,700 FanDuel salary, 1,000 more on DraftKings, averaging 8 fantasy points per game on the season, and he's got a batting average of .311. So I like Isaiah Keener-Falefa here versus Carlos Hernandez. Okay, let's take a look at the shortstop position. I like Xander Bogaerts with an 80% batting advantage over a low salary pitcher, Spencer Watkins. Xander Bogaerts batting 18% better versus righty pitchers, batting a .942 OPS versus righties. Spencer Watkins, pitching 62% worse to righties as he does lefties, giving up a 1.149 OPS to righties. And Xander Bogaerts is 2 for 4 with a 1.750 OPS versus Watkins. One of those hits is for a home run. He's 3,800 FanDuel salary, 1,400 more on DraftKings, averaging 10 fantasy points per game on the season, and he has a batting average of .377. So I like Xander Bogaerts here versus Spencer Watkins. Okay, moving on to the outfield position. There's another value play. I like Austin Hayes batting against Nathan Eovaldi. Austin Hayes is batting 13% better versus righty pitchers, batting a .840 OPS versus righties. Nathan Eovaldi giving up a .738 OPS versus righties. Austin Hayes is 6 for 16, batting a .375 batting average and a .875 OPS versus Eovaldi. He's 3,100 FanDuel salary, and he's 400 less on DraftKings. So I love that DraftKings price. He's averaging 10 fantasy points per game on the season, has a batting average of .296. So I like Austin Hayes here versus Nathan Eovaldi.
Real quick, guys, I got great news. For a limited time, we're offering a full 30-day trial to Draft Dashboard. You can try all of our DFS tools for all sports. You can try the Position Optimizer, where you can see the top players ranked for each position. And we added a new Player Trends tool, where you can see the top salary differences between FanDuel and DraftKings. It's a really good tool to help you pick out value for the site that you're playing on. Oh, and if you're tired of doing research every day, we just added a cheat sheet that shows hand-picked plays for the slate. No confusing stat lines, no headaches, just a simple cheat sheet that shows the absolute best players for your lineups.
Okay, now here's my home run hitter on the night. I like Charlie Blackmon with a 67% batting advantage over a low salary pitcher, Connor Overton. Charlie Blackmon is batting 20% better versus righty pitchers, batting a .830 OPS versus righties. And Connor Overton, he pitches 47% worse to lefties as he does righties, giving up a .536 OPS versus lefties. His OPS numbers actually look pretty low, so I'm not sure if he just doesn't have a big sample size or why his salary is so low. But generally, when you got a pitcher who has a low DFS salary, means they're not so great. So Charlie Blackmon is 4,100 FanDuel salary, 500 more on DraftKings, averaging 11 fantasy points per game on the season, and he has a batting average of .257. Now I also like this pick because Vegas thinks this is going to be a high-scoring game. 11 runs scored in this game. That's their over-under. So I like Charlie Blackmon here versus Connor Overton. Okay, another guy who could definitely hit a home run here tonight is Giancarlo Stanton with a 48% batting advantage over a low salary pitcher, Carlos Hernandez. Giancarlo Stanton is batting 21% better versus righty pitchers, batting a .837 OPS versus righties. Carlos Hernandez pitching his worst ball versus righty pitchers. Pitching his worst ball versus righty batters. He's pitching 26% worse than his other pitches, giving up a .964 OPS versus righties. Now, the thing I did not like about this pick is that Stanton is 0 for 4 versus Hernandez. But you got to figure with those splits, he's due for a hit here. He is 3,300 FanDuel salary, 1,500 more on DraftKings, averaging 9 fantasy points per game on the season, got a batting average of .260, and he's been on fire, scoring 25, 10, and 29 fantasy points in the last 3 games. So I like Giancarlo Stanton here versus Carlos Hernandez.
If you want to try all these daily fantasy tools for yourself, click the link in the description below this video or just go to draftdashboard.com. You can use our DFS lineup optimizer to build quality lineups using our picks and your own custom player pool. Click the link in the description below this video and try all these daily fantasy tools right now. Thanks so much for watching. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit that bell icon so you can get instant updates whenever we post a new video. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, please smiggity smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Oh, and please comment below with your favorite player for this MLB slate. I love to hear what you guys have to think. Thanks again and good luck.